the name of the Beasties that are on the native blister packs. Welcome back to Cryptid Theory, where we use the cards of Metazoo to try to figure out the storyline and lore. My name is Turmentic, and today we are going to talk about the images from the blister packs, what those 4 beasties are, but I also want to talk about another one that was teased the other day, and then today we actually got another tease of the full card of what it is, so we're just going to jump right into those two first. The first one I want to talk about is Isatok. Now, Isatok can be found in the Nunavut territory in Canada. Honestly, there is not much information about this guy. Isatok is a deity in Inuit mythology. He's usually described as a giant flying eye. He seems to fly around looking for anyone breaking a taboo, someone talking behind someone's back, not being respectful after a hunt, or cheating a neighbor, for example. It's very vague, like I said, on exactly what he is, but then he punishes the offender for any sort of taboo that actually is broken. The craziest thing to me, though, in regards to this was the size. This thing is a 5 foot, 2.9 inch flying eyeball. That's crazy to me. Now, I want to continue looking into Isatok to see if there's any sort of other information. Like I said, there wasn't really much when I was looking him up, very, very brief, but there's a couple books that I need to look at to see if I can find any sort of stories about him. Now, the next one I want to talk about is a tease that they actually released today. They showed us the full card, and that is of Ababanili. Ababanili was the creator god of the Chickasaw tribe. His name literally means one who sits above, or one who dwells above. He is associated with fire and the sun. The Chickasaw believed that Ababanili created them out of dust. Since he is associated with fire and the sun, the tribe would keep a sacred fire lit all year long. At the Busk Festival held each spring, the fire was put out, and then a new one was started by a holy man using the sun's rays. The old embers of that fire were then used to restart the cooking fire, so that they thought that the sun was in their home at all time. Ababanili was in their home at all time. A really interesting and cool concept. Now, something really big also to point out about Ababanili is that this deity does not have a human form. He is what is known as a divine spirit with no human form or attributes, and is not even normally personified in many Chickasaw myths. His flavor text, if you want to look at that real quick, says, "The one who sits above is the creator and master of the sun. He is always present in fire ceremonies." There is one story of Ababanili that I want to turn into a Sam's Legendary Collection video, so make sure to subscribe so you can check out that video once I release that. Now, jumping over to the blister packs, we already know who the first one is. That is Ravenmacher. I went very into detail on Ravenmacher and a lot of what the lore behind Ravenmacher is, so I'll make sure to leave that video down below in the comments section. Definitely go and check that out. You get the full look at the card as well too. Really awesome video. But check out that for Ravenmacher. Let's move on to the other 3 though, which actually some of these were a little hard to figure out. The first one I want to talk about is Uktena. Uktena is also known as the Antlered Serpent. It is a dragon-like horned serpent of the Cherokee legend. The first Uktena was said to be a human that was transformed when they failed to assassinate the sun. Most stories that feature a Uktena are usually stories of the Uktena actually being defeated. They are known to be deadly creatures. The creature is the size of a great snake, as large around as a tree trunk, and has horns on its head and a bright blazing crest like diamond on its forehead. It has rings or dots along its length, but only shooting it in the 7th ring can harm it. That is where its heart and life are supposed to be. The crest that looks like a diamond is called an ulu unsuti, which means translates to transparent. And whoever can actually win it by defeating the Uktena will become the greatest wonder worker of the tribe. That's what the legend says. It was extremely hard to defeat the Uktena though, because whoever saw the Uktena, it was so dazed by the light emitted by it that they ran towards the snake and not away. The breath of the Uktena was also poisonous, just like other horned serpents, so a hunter couldn't even go and try to slay the beast while it was sleeping, because any small amount of breath that the hunter would actually breathe in would poison them and kill them. Now, this next one is called Jiin, and it is in Seneca mythology. The Jiin is a monstrous spider 6 feet tall. It cannot be killed because it hid its heart underground. Now, in legend, Othekawinda stabbed the heart under the earth with a tree limb, killing the Jiin. I love the artwork on this card also because you can actually see the heart underneath the spider, which right now, with it being a little obscured, it might be a little hard to actually tell, but that's honestly what that is in the middle of that spider web. It's the heart, which that immediately is what kind of made me think that this is the Xiyin, because it was very known, like I said, for hiding its heart underneath the earth, making it impossible to actually kill. So yeah, I appreciated the heart being on the spiderweb as a nice little Easter egg that Metazoo threw in. Now this next one was probably the hardest one for me to find, and I think I know why. When I was looking it up, I kept coming across the name Tizarek, which we've already had a Tizarek in Cryptid Nation 1. This thing is known as Tizarek, but it also has its own specific name, Palrai-yuk. It is related, like I said, to Tizarek. It is a sea monster described as some sort of serpent-like creature that lives in the bays and inlets off the coast of Alaska. It also has a scientific name, which is Cadborosaurus wilsey. Now the description of this thing is insane. This beastie has 3 pairs of legs, which all end in a mammal-like paw, 2 heads that look like a fox, 2 tails, short horns, 3 stomachs, thick fur, a long tongue, a tail that resembles a fish or dolphin's fluke, and a serrated edge which goes down the complete back with a trio of dorsal fins. In my opinion, this is like the cryptid world's version of a platypus, but this thing is awesome. Now this thing is terrifying, but especially when it likes to hunt. When it goes hunting, it likes to rear the front 7 or 8 feet of its heavy body out of the water, only to crash into the kayaks or the canoes of the local tribes. It is said to primarily eat fish and people by using its long tongue and its sharp teeth. It's also rumored that you can summon a Palrai-yuk by tapping the bottom of a kayak out in the open water. I personally would not want to mess with this thing. This thing looks terrifying, it looks very agile in the water, and like that huge description that I read off just a little bit ago, this thing seems like a very formidable opponent. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the brief breakdown of the cryptids that we were teased with the upcoming set Native. I'm really excited about some of these. Abab and Nili is definitely one. Like I said, make sure to subscribe. I'm going to release the Sam's Legendary collection of the story of Abab and Nili that I found here hopefully in the next couple of days. But I'm really excited to see more of what Native has to offer. I'm excited to see how they're going to change the meta up, and I'm excited to see what other tribes they haven't shown us yet that are going to be included in Native, because you got to remember 33 native tribes from North America are going to be represented in the set Native, which I think is fantastic. But like I said, my name is Turmentic. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions or if there's anything you would like to add, and I hope you have a wonderful day.